Every day, everywhere, think about you. Every day, everywhere, think about you. I miss you every day. Miss you every day. I miss you every day. I miss you every day. I feel you every day. I miss you every day. I miss you baby. They wanted to limit to Kayore. Nikatamani kucheki vidore. Nikapata hana pete kidore. Nikatetemeka vidore. They wanted to limit to Kayore. Nikatamani kucheki vidore. Nikapata hana pete kidore. Nikatetemeka vidore. Gotta be my, 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 every day, everywhere, think about you. Every day, everywhere, think about you. I miss you every day. I miss you every day. I kiss you every day. I kiss you every day. I feel you every day. I miss you every day. I miss you baby. Gotta be my, gotta be my, gotta be my, gotta be my, gotta be my. This is Black Family. Like half give you lemon, mine half give me whiskey. Why don't we make a party? You just send me here. Like half give you lemon, mine half give me whiskey. Why don't we make a party? You just send me here. I can't believe without you, baby.
And Hamzambo familia. Welcome to the Expression right here on the Black Fire Network. We trust that you are doing on yet another wonderful Thursday. Being on a throwback Thursday, we hope that everyone is doing well and you all actually having a wonderful day. I know the weather is disapproving. Sometimes the weather is not, acting or like coming up right. But nonetheless, we are glad that everything is the way it is. My name is Spikes, alongside my co-host Safari.
Yeah, guys, welcome back to another episode of the show, guys. We are here, guys. It's about to get late as usual.
Yeah, man, it's all about the fresh hits and the fresh vibes right here on the Black Fire Network Express show. And today we are looking forward to having an interesting conversation. We do have with us a wonderful guest who goes by the name Remy Wanjah, coming all the way from Rwanda, but of course are currently based right here in Nairobi, Kenya, and it's all about the good vibes. We played you some music. The name of the song was Every Day, and this is one of the music that is done by the one and only Remy Wanjah, and I'm liking the song. Safari, what are your thoughts about the song?
The song is dope,
yeah.
man. The song has some good vibe to it. You know, like it has that smooth chilling, that smooth chilling rhythm to it. So for me, it's a good hit, man. That's a good song, man.
Yeah. And I also think it's some sort of an R&B and an Afrofusion vibe. It's some R&B and Afrofusion vibe, and I do get to agree that with you. It's sort of laid back. Nonetheless, we want to welcome Mr. Remy Wanjah. Karibu sana. Karibu sana kaka. Karibu sana. Welcome to the show. How are you doing? Can you hear me?
Yo, what up? Yeah, I hear you.
How
I hear you.
how are you doing?
I'm doing good. What's up? What's up, guys? I'm so happy
Hey,
today to be
it,
hosted with you.
it's
Yeah,
all
yeah.
good, and we are happy to have you in Rwanda. We say Amakuru.
Amakoro, it means how are you? Nimeza.
Yeah,
I'm fine.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
yeah,
Nimeza.
eh, yeah, you respond and say Nimeza. And one thing I do know about the Rwandese people, you also do say,
Have you been in
uh,
Kigali?
yeah, I have been to Kigali twice. I've been to Kigali 2 times, and it's a wonderful
Good
experience.
time.
All that I could hear in Kigali was Amafaranga.
Which
That is
which
all.
the place have you gone?
I've been to the memorial. I've been to the memorial. I've also been to a place known as the Amahoro Stadium. I have also been to another place known as what do you call this other place at the top? Remera. I've been to Remera as well. I have been to Remera as well. And these are the wonderful places.
Remera.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We are happy.
Wow.
We are happy. And also Amahoro. Have you been? I believe you have been to Amahoro Stadium. Maybe doing some sports. Have you been to Amahoro?
Yeah, Remera. Remera, that's in my place. And they have you been to the place called Chimironga? Chimironga is
Yeah.
there where I was really living a long time, from 97 to 2013. Yeah, I was moved
Okay.
there to Uganda, Kampala.
Oh, okay. Try put up your microphone near you because I cannot hear you clear. Try put your microphone near you. The
So
headphones
I
that you're
really
using. Try put it. Try put it
appreciate
near
to be in
your mouth.
your
Try 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 put the microphone closer to your mouth. I think we have a bit of a problem with there's a lag. There's a bit of a delay. Try put the microphone closer to your mouth so I can hear what you're saying. I want to give you the opportunity to introduce yourself. How would you like to introduce yourself? Ungependa kujiintroduce vipi kaka? I think we're having a bit of a problem with the connectivity, but nonetheless, we are excited that we do have the one and only Remy Wanjah right here on the Black Hot Fire Network Express show, and we are looking forward to getting to understand a little bit about his musical journey and, of course, how far he has come. You know, he says that he has been to different places like I've been. There is one of the popular spots known as Remera, which is really a big place and a nice chilled back place. And the music we played you earlier, the name of the song is Every
You
Day.
hear me
Welcome back,
well?
brother. How? Yeah, I can hear you well. I was asking you, how would you like to introduce yourself? Please introduce yourself.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you. Kindly introduce yourself. Introduce yourself, brother.
Hello.
I can hear you.
Will you try reducing the volume?
No, it's on his side.
Yeah. 60.
Yeah. You could move to a place where the noise is not as much, but you could also kindly go ahead and introduce yourself. Probably it's a connectivity on his end right there. But nonetheless, family, we are glad that you all tune in and you all with us right here on the Black Hot Fire Network Expression. We do have some wonderful vibes lined up for you. We do understand that there has been so many things happening over the course of the week. And for example, there was a matter that we were looking into that has to do with the case of the comedian. Right now, they are saying that the comedian is out of job. He goes by the name Professor Hamo, who was working with the local radio stations, and they are saying that he has actually been laid off or some sort of thing like that. I don't know what is happening with them right there, but I do hope that everything is coming along, just okay. I don't know. Did you hear the story about Hamo and Zemutai?
Yeah. I did hear about the story and all that and what's been going on. And you know, at the end of the day, as long as we keep on putting these people on pedestal, you have to understand they are not perfect.
Yeah.
Once a time, they have to mess up like every normal human being does. So once they do that, we shouldn't give them such a hard time, because now this guy has lost his job. He was working out at 96 FM, right? Yeah. So now he has. I don't know how he's going to cope with the current situation and all that. So I just hope he takes it in a good side. Positivity. That's all.
I do believe that these are just humans. Everyone is bound to make mistakes, but nonetheless, I know that he has a family as well. He has another separate family. From the one that he has with Zemutai, and things are crazy. But you shall be following up those particular stories and we shall be letting you know how that particular one goes. Because at the end of the day, like I said, entertainers are people like you and me. We are also here, doing getting to entertain you and also getting to update you. But nonetheless, I do believe at the end of the day, human beings are prone to mistakes, and anything can happen. And therefore, I would not really be so much harsh to anyone in terms of judging what they can do or what they cannot do with their own lives. I do believe we do say that our choices do make us. We are a product of our own choices. We have made choices regarding different matters, and we are a product of those choices. But nonetheless, Remy, can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Unaweza kunisikia?
Yeah, nakusikia.
Nilikuwa nataka kukupatia muda kujiintroduce. I want you to give you to introduce yourself.
Sasa hii nakusikia.
How would you like to introduce yourself? Ungependa
I think the
kujiintroduce vipi?
problem was we have today. Sorry for the convenience of the network. But I hear you right now.
Kuna mahali ambapo unaweza pata hakuna makelele mengi. There's a lot of noise happening with the background.
Hello?
There's a lot of noise happening with the background. Is there a place mahali ambapo hakuna makelele mengi vile? Or if you can still continue with your please introduce yourself.
Sorry?
If you can hear me, I'm giving you the chance to introduce yourself.
Yeah, right now I'm hearing you. Do you hear me too?
I can hear you. Can you introduce yourself kindly? Unaweza
Sorry?
Kindly introduce yourself to our listeners, to our guests.
You say maybe what?
Introduce yourself. Uweze kujiintroduce kaka. Uweze
Do you hear me
kujiintroduce.
right now?
Na kusikia, unaweza kujiintroduce tafadhali.
Okay, I can do it. I was tell you, my name is Remy Wanjah.
Yeah.
Yeah, from Kigali, Rwanda.
Tell us a
Yeah,
little
I'm
bit.
here in Nairobi doing the music and the hustle hard. Yeah.
Yeah. And I wanted to ask you when did you discover your music? Ulidiscover ile talanta yako ya muziki lini? Family, we do apologize. We're having a bit of a problem with getting a hold of the brother because it seems like we do have a bit of with the connectivity. But the question was when you did get to discover the passion for music, and we understand that you do have so many talented artists that are coming all the way from across and around the African continent, and that is why we purpose on the Black get to introduce them to you. Let you know what kind of a topic unaweza kunisikia sasa?
Yeah, kwa sasa nakusikia sasa.
Nilikuwa nataka kuuliza uligundua hii talanta
Yeah, I hear you.
When did you discover your talent for music? Uligundua lini hii talanta yako ya muziki?
Sorry, talent yangu. You're asking me about my talent.
Yeah, I'm asking you, when did you discover your talent?
Okay. Okay, about my talent, it has been a long journey. The challenge was not easy because the time I was getting my name is Remy Wanjah. It's since I was in high school. That's the time I was getting my AKA. So the time I was in high school, I remember when 2008, I used to perform in the school, but the music of the owners. So sometimes if it gets a record because
We do have a we do have a hit with the connectivity, but our family, we are trying to fix it. We hope.
and money, it's gonna be.
I guess there's some noise from your end. There's some noise on your end. Have you been in Kenya? How long have you been in Kenya?
So the time, sorry.
How long have you been in Kenya?
In Kenya right now, it's like almost 4 years.
4 years. You
Yeah,
came
it's
here in
almost 4 years, but in Kenya,
in 2016.
sorry.
You came in 2016 or 2017. Family, you apologize. We're having a bit of a problem with the connectivity as well as the noise on the other end. Brother, can you find a place where it's not as noisy? Can you find a place mahali ambapo hakuna makelele mingi, kwa sababu siwezi kukusikia vizuri. There's a lot of noise on your end. Can you perhaps get a place where it's not as noisy? Because if you are able to do so, maybe we would be able to find you and hear you in a much more correct kind of a manner. But nonetheless, we do hope that everyone is doing well, whomever is tuning in, and we hope that you all are having a wonderful afternoon. And this is the Express Show right here on the Black Hot Fire Network. We are discussing with our friend and our artist from Rwanda. And we happen to realize that he has been here for about 4 years. And of course, he says that the music he got to discover his talent for music in about when he was in high school. When he was in high school, and we are hoping that he can be able to come back on and let us know what is going on. But nonetheless, I want to get back into the matters of what has been happening with the political situation in our country, which is the 254. And there is someone who is known as Moses Kuria. I had gotten to highlight about him in another show earlier on, but he has come out here and he is trending on Twitter. If you go to Twitter right now and search for Moses Kuria, he is trending for the minute because he has come up and he has been very, very bold in terms of talking about the problems we are facing as a country. And one of the biggest problems happens to be corruption, in the 254. And I would just like to know about the opinion, the opinion of the people, because we have been talking about the police being the most corrupt, and there is an explanation or there is an excuse that is given for the police because they say the police are not getting paid very, very well. And therefore, what happens is that they say the police can go on and they can be involved with all this corruption because they are not being well paid, and all these other kinds of excuses that they make for the corruption in Kenya. But Moses Kuria has been trending, and it's because he did say he's willing to refund $1,000 bribe that he got from Parliament. This is according to a report. This is according to a phone call and a report that he gave on the BBC. I don't know what your opinion is, Safari, on the matter.
Well, for me, first of all, to go on air and speak on such grave matters, it has to take a lot of courage, first of all. And secondly, now, we don't know, because these are the same people who mess us up. Like, these are the same people who have been in office. Like, I am sure right now when he's coming clean, this has not been the first thing that he was paid to, let's say, do, so it's been there. So I'm not really honestly sure that he's doing this for the sake of the country, of the people. Maybe there could be some personal, but I don't know. But what I know is, like, to come out now and say whatever you say, there has to be something brewing up, Yeah, so we should prepare for something that's yet to come, man.
Kenyans on Twitter have been, responding to this particular one and are making all the memes. The problem is with Kenyans, they think everything is a joke. For example, right now, This is a meme. This is a meme. This is a meme on Twitter. Kenyans, I think, will not take things sometimes are very, very serious. We can see now this is a meme of they saying Moses Kuri returning the money and counting it once he realized that it was for bribe. He already knew it was for bribe. And of course, Kenyans, I'll just be trying to make fun of this whole situation. Well, it's really, really serious, and the matter should get to be addressed because this particular person should be behind bars right now. He should be behind bars. And of course, he's not the only one. I do believe all these MPs, all the time there was a movement which is called them the MPs or the pigs, yeah, because they have been doing all these things because of their own greedy purposes. They are doing it for their own greedy end. And he was saying he accepted 100,000 Kenyan shillings for to vote for Kimunya for majority leader. And he did say he was not the only one who was picking up the money. Most of the MPs were going by the office and they were picking the money. So all of them should be behind Mars. But because they are the legislators in Kenya, you know, they will not be touched. And, you know, corruption actually stems from all the levels. You go to the parliament, you go to the police force, you get from the parliament legislation and go to the judiciary, and then the judiciary will not prosecute them. And from the judiciary, we also do have the executive. The executive is also the one giving the money. So where do the Kenyans now find, you know, a reprieve?
Spikes, it's very hurting and it's actually very, like, it's embarrassing for someone as respectable as him, you know. People chose him for a reason. You coming out now and saying you took a bribe, you know, already that disfigures everything. You are
illegitimately.
It's done, you know, like you took 100,000 shillings, you know, that's already like you came out clean, you know, and nothing is happening to these people. No, now that's what makes us angry. Like they can do us like that bad, you know, take bribes and all that, and nothing can happen to them. You know,
that is because you were saying the bribe was coming from the highest office. So what are you going to do? We do have the legislature, we do have the judiciary, and then we do have the executive. All of these three working hand in hand, and you know the money is moving around from, you know, the legislature, then getting into the judiciary, then getting, you know, from the executive to the legislature, and then from the legislature to the judiciary. You know, that is the kind of a cycle you do have, because if you do say that the government, of course, you know, the head of the government is you know, the president and the other, you know, the deputy president. They say the money came from the government to the legislators. You know, he is a legislature, he's an MP. So it's coming from the executive to the legislature. And then for the legislature not to get taken anywhere by the court, they will have to pay the judiciary so that the case is just blown off. And so it means the circle is right there, and these are the kind of people we have put in these offices. But Kenyans, 2022 is a year of elections. You know, 2022 is a year of elections. And we might see the same kind of a cycle being repeated. DJ Adrian, thank you so much for joining us on the show. You're saying bless up our family, bless up to you too. Asante sana. Sijui kama pia umemwona Moses Kuria, Adrian. I don't know kama umemwona Moses Kuria, and what are your thoughts about Moses Kuria coming out and admitting kwamba amekuwa pale hivyo kwenye office of the leader of the majority na alipokea pesa ya shilingi 1,100. I don't know what your thoughts are about this particular incident, Eddie or DJ Adrian. Please do let us know what your thoughts are on the same. We shall take a short music break, and when we come back, we shall be discussing more music. We hope we shall be able to get our guest back because we lost him. But also remember, on Monday, we do have one of the most talented actresses. She goes by the name Maureen Coet. She shall be with us on Monday from 2 p.m. right here on the Blackout Fan Network, and we shall be discussing more matters film. I happen to realize that the Kenyan film industry is growing, you know. You know, that is what is happening. Iradukunda, thank you so much, Iradukunda, for joining us, our brother. We hope that you are doing well. I'm not sure whether you are tuning in from Nairobi or you are tuning in from Kigali, but make sure you hit the subscribe button and you also involved with the matters that we get to discuss right here on the Blackout. But today we shall be talking about entertainment. We shall be talking about culture and arts. We hope that our guest will be able to come back as we proceed with the conversation. But for now, we go back to the music. The name of this other song is really also another production by the one and only Remy Wanjah. And the name of the song, the other one we did play was Every Day, but this one is known as Mrembo, right here on the Black Hot Fire Network.
Programmiza, zima kanyera uwaye. Programmiza, zima kanyera uwaye. Urembo, kwangu ni kama wimbo. Wimbo, kwako nitaimba wimbo, nitaimba. Wimbo, zinangoma nitunzie, nitunzie. Wimbo, zinangoma nitunzie. So fine, I don't wanna lose you, girl. Stay with me, my number one. Sijisulivoteka vika kanami. I wanna take you home to mama. Jana nao wamesema hatawezekana. Wenye wivu wanaomba tuachane. Nili naomba Mungu penzi wangu tupendane. Sijui story za Masai Queen. You're my everything, you're my Mary Queen. Never been a playboy. Siwezi kusaliti mwingine sioni. Hebu ndani wacha hoi. Kwako nimefika nifunga boli. Lako penzi moto moto. Nipe rafu baby usinipimie. Usinicheze kama roto. Wasema you make baby wapusie. Usinicheze kama roto. Wasema you make baby wapusie. Urembo, kwangu ni kama wimbo. Wimbo, kwako nitaimba wimbo, nitaimba. Wimbo, zinangoma nitunzie, nitunzie. Wimbo, zinangoma nitunzie. Sina ujanja kwako, nipenda baby niwachome. Nimeng'ata kwako, kama kupe wengine wanikome. You my queen, I'm your king. Ukiniacha nitapata tabu. Make me shine like a star. You so precious kama dhahabu. If I wanna make you mine for life, we're taking a vacation.
And we are back, family, and of course, being on a wonderful Thursday, we are all about the fresh hits and the fresh vibes right here on the Black Hot Fan Network Express Show. I want to remind us that if you would like to get a hold of us on our social media platforms, we are on Twitter, Black Hot Fan. You can also find us on our Facebook, Black Hot Fan Network radio station, and also on Instagram, Black Hot Fire. And of course, my name is Spikes, in case you're joining us for the very first time, alongside my co-host, Safari.
Yeah, guys, welcome back to the show, guys. Yeah, we are going to jump into some entertainment news. I hope you're going to be with us all through. Yeah.
And of course, at the end of the day, we are hearing about new music coming up. I did say last week that J. Cole is expected to drop his album tomorrow. I am really not sure whether people are actually anticipating. For me, I was saying that J. Cole has been doing music for a minute. I believe since probably 2009. I'm not sure whether I had the first J. Cole song, maybe 2010 or around are they about. And I happen to realize that he has been growing. And right now he has said that he will be dropping his his project very, very soon. And we shall be looking forward to seeing how that particular one goes. Because at the end of the day, hip hop is a genre of art that has been seen sort of to be it has slowed down. If you ask me, it seems like it has actually been it has actually been slowing down. And but we do have some people who have been trying to put in the work and make sure that maybe we can be seeing a return of the old or the true hip hop in the game. At the end of the day, we have had him making an announcement, and this particular announcement has been talking about a new album coming tomorrow, known as the Off Season, and he did say that it's supposed to drop on the 14th.
Yeah. Actually, he used to play basketball when he was in high school. So the off season, it's mostly like he took that word from whatever he accomplished, in the sport. And, and J. Cole is one of my favorite rappers right now. He's got some really good creativity, and we can't just wait. We are really waiting.
And we are waiting on that particular now because they are saying that the project will be, full of hits. But nonetheless, there have been some sources right now that do say that J. Cole has been asked to go back into his old days of playing basketball. And there is a team, really from Remy Wanjah's country, that has called upon J. Cole to go join their team, which is a team from Rwanda. Rapper J. Cole is supposed to play for Rwandan club in a basketball Africa League. Of course, he is expected to play for the Rwandan side of the Patriots BBC. In the inaugural season of the Basketball Africa League. So he's told the undefeated. J. Cole, who is 36, arrived in Rwanda 2 days ago and is in the midst of quarantine in order to play in the 12-team league. Jermaine Lamako, the rapper, starred in Sanford, North Carolina High School and was a walk-on of the St. John's, but he ultimately turned his focus on music before playing in a division game. J. Cole is signing with the Rwandan club is expected to become official on Thursday, according to the sources. Patriots will play with the first BAL game Sunday against Nigeria's River Hoppers. The New Times Rwanda originally broke the news, showing video of him in Rwanda. And it's a good thing. I do believe, for him to just connect to the Rwandese people and show a little bit of his talents at the end of the day, because I do believe it's a way to connect. Probably it's the first time that he is in Rwanda. Maybe it might be his first time in Rwanda.
Actually, since he played in college during the Division 1, he's never played again. So this is going to be like he's been practicing that I know, but he's never really had to be in a major game. When you see with the album coming and that, I think that's a really good move to push his work. Outsourcing a larger market.
At the end of the day, I think it might be good, but let me see if I do see a video of J. Cole in Rwanda to see if the Rwandese team has something going on for him and what might be happening with these particular people in Rwanda. But nonetheless, we are back with our guest. He goes by the name Remy Wanjah. Sorry, I think we have Kira. That was Remy who was joining us once again. Sorry about that. But
that wasn't him, but he's from Rwanda, right? So I heard you speaking about J. Cole. And J. Cole is now accepted a position with the Rwandan Basketball League to play basketball for Rwanda. Did you know about that, Spikes?
Yeah, he has. Yeah. And I'm sharing the video right now. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, share it.
Okay.
And this evening, we're joined by the newly appointed Patriots Basketball Club coach, Alan, until the beginning of the Basketball Africa League, end of the tournament, right here in Kigali, which will start on the 16th of May until the 30th of May. And Rwanda is represented by the Patriots Basketball Club. And this evening, we're joined by the newly appointed Patriots Basketball Club coach, Alan Major. Good evening, coach, and thank you for joining us on Rwanda Television News.
Good evening to you. Thank you for having me.
All right. Since you reached Rwanda, of course, how has it been? How was your experience here in Rwanda for your first time?
It's been great. As you know, we have to be careful with safety and protocol. So the majority of my time has been spent in either hotels or in practice with the guys. So we checked in at the Bubble, which is the Radisson in the Kigali Convention Center a few days ago. And finished our initial quarantine, and started individual work with our players.
This is a new coach they had. I think they had him from the States. He's a new coach of the Patriots team. They had him from the States. I believe he's from somewhere in the States.
Oh, yeah. I know he's from the. Yeah, I see he's from the States. Yeah. I can hear he's from the States. His accent, so I know he's from the United States. But okay. Yeah.
So they had.
I thought you had J. Cole about to be interviewed. Not this coach.
He is J. Cole up next. Let me just share J. Cole up next. Yeah.
Kigali has been wonderful, beautiful city and beautiful people.
Before we get onto the preparations of the Basketball Africa League, first of all, how did you find your team, the Patriots Basketball Club? How is the team?
Yeah, they're doing very well. You know, today is actually my 16th day in Kigali, so I've been keeping track. So the guys have been great. They're allowing us to coach them. They have a ton of energy. They want to learn. And all of our practices, they seem to be getting better and better every day. So very enjoyable group to work with.
All right. And of course, there has been some speculations that J. Cole, an international rapper who is here in Kigali, must feature in Patriots Basketball Club. Let's start there with the preparations. Is J. Cole being featured in Patriots Basketball Club for the upcoming Basketball Africa League?
He is, and you know, he just wants to be a regular guy. He's not looking for special attention. He arrived just a couple of days ago. So we have to wait.
He said he was playing basketball in his high school, and he also played for another team. Although he then ditched the team and went into music, but he has been doing basketball since before he went into music. He was doing basketball for
he went into music. Yeah, I'm saying, was he good? Was he good in high school? Well, you had to be decent in high school, and then go to music because he comes from North Carolina, which is a pretty basketball state in the United States. You know, that's where Michael Jordan comes from. A lot of famous basketball players come out of North Carolina. So, you know, he might can play. We'll see. I don't know, but he's playing against. Go ahead.
But I was just wondering, how about also people also do get to invest in Sudan? Because Sudan, we do have people, everyone in Sudan almost being 6 feet high, 6 feet tall. And in Sudan, you know, it's all about.
Because you're tall don't mean you're any good. Just because you're tall don't mean you're good. Spike. I already told you, you already had that Manute Bull guy get dunked on by Jordan. He's from Sudan, and Manute Bull stuck. He wasn't no good. Just because you're tall don't got nothing to do with basketball.
No, I'm just saying you have an advantage.
Because you're tall, spikes don't make you good.
You have an advantage at least. There is an advantage compared to a shorter person. You know, the Chinese.
You don't have no advantage because you're tall. No, you don't. No, that's why. Any spikes or any other best players who ever play basketball real tall? No. LeBron James is not 6'8", but is he as good as Jordan? No, Jordan was only 6'6".
Yeah, I'm saying most of them are 6.5. Most of them are 6.5, 6'5 plus, which is what is a normal.
Yeah, 6'5", 6'6", that's it.
Yeah, which is a normal height.
So if you have the only really big good center came out of Africa that was really great was out of Nigeria called Akeem the Dream. Akeem Olajuwon was a great player. I mean, great, not just decent. Olajuwon was a great basketball player. He's the only really great African I can say that was actually great. He was great. Akeem Olajuwon was great, and he was 7 foot. I think Olajuwon 7 foot tall, but you know he wasn't as big as like Manute Bull 7'6" or Duke Mutombo, who's African. He was decent. Was he great like Olajuwon? I think Duke Mutombo was from Sudan too. I think Mutombo was from Sudan too. Was he good? He was okay. Was he great? Hell no. Was he great? No. Only great basketball player really can. Go ahead, Spike.
No, I'm just saying the Rwandese, not the Rwandese, the Sudanese these people they would also try to nurture their leagues, but they haven't. It hasn't happened because of all the fighting. But there was a signing of a contract, a peace agreement. That was a peace agreement signed last week, and we are hoping that in both Sudans, in South Sudan and North and Sudan itself, we shall have a bit of a normalcy, because you cannot have sport people when guns are blazing everywhere. You cannot go into a pitch.
You're not going to have normalcy. You're not going to have normalcy. You're not going to have normalcy because you got the Islamic religion. Islamic religion that conquered Nubia, sadly enough. That was an African country. It lost those African conditions because you had the influx of that Guppy religion. When that Guppy religion came in, it taught racism towards African people. So the reason why you had a strife in Sudan all the time is religion being aggressively dispatched against African people by the white Arabs in what you call the fake Middle East and the Caucasians.
And Kira, I wanted to ask something that has to do with the Nubians, because the Nubians were a fierce warrior. You know, they were a fierce warrior, and they were forced to reckon with when it came to defending.
I told you that. Yes, they were your peers. They were your peers. They were some. They guarded Africa against European and Arab domination. So
but I wanted to
when you get Nubia, they finally. Oh, go ahead, Spike. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I
want to ask you something regarding the Nubians and their fighting force. We have heard about the restoration in the recent days. There was the reopening of in Greece. We do have the reopening of the gladiator. What do you call them? The stadiums, not the gladiator stadium. They are not called stadiums, but they are called the arena. Yeah, the arena, the gladiator arenas. Do you believe that the people who are taken from Africa as slaves were put in some of these gladiators, or this is just a story that has been put for Hollywood? Do you think there were some Africans that they took from Sudan or
you guys put them on the arena? Africans ruled the world. Most Africans don't even know their history. Africa ruled the world. Africa had the best fighters. Africa had the best educational system. Africa was the richest continent. It was with all the wealth. So the Nubians were always asked to go fight in other people's wars because they were the best warriors. So that's why the white man never could get deep into Africa until 1,000 years after the Nubian Empire fell. So they always wanted to penetrate Africa. That's why Rome could never go further south into Africa, while the Arabs could never go into Africa until the fall of Nubia or the fall of Kush. These were great warriors, great African warriors. This is where your Maasai is, where your Zulu came from, who went further south into South Africa, or in Kenya, or over into West Africa. So this is the history of that empire being broken up finally by Aksum. Aksum Empire finally sacked. The Aksum Empire of Ethiopia finally sacked, but it wasn't Ethiopia then, it was Abyssinia. It was no fucking Ethiopia, it was Sudan. You know, I always find it funny that the Ethiopians, the Abyssinians, changed their name to Ethiopia. When was this, Spikes? 1946 or 1947 when Abyssinia changed his name? Hold that for me, Spikes. So now they're trying to take the history of Kush. Yeah. What year was it, Spikes?
Let me just confirm.
When did Abyssinia change its name to Ethiopia? Now there's confusion that you think these are the ancient Ethiopians, and they're not. When you're like, these slick bastards want to take the Kushite Nubian history and claim it as their own. It's not them. All that fake biblical shit. These are not the Ethiopians of ancient times. When was it, Spikes? 47? 46?
That was, let me see, just a second. Federal Republic. What Abyssinia turned into Ethiopia?
What year did Abyssinia change its name to Ethiopia?
Turned to Ethiopia. The announcement of the Ethiopian Empire is an empire from what? Why did Abyssinia change into Ethiopia? No, that's why. Let me see if the Google gives me answers direct.
Yeah, all you gotta do is ask Google what year did Abyssinia change its name to Ethiopia?
That's what I'm. 1690s, blah blah blah.
It was in 1940s.
Yeah, but they're not giving me the actual dates here. I cannot see it. 1989, Abyssinia.
No, it was 89. It's like in the 40s.
No,
What
no,
year?
yeah, in the 40s, but I do not see it.
Yeah.
They do not give me a.
1940.
It should tell you. Say what year. Google's not telling you what year no more.
No, 1947.
Okay, as I said, about 1947. I thought it was 46. So Ethiopia changed. Abyssinia changed his name to Ethiopia. So now people got thinking that they're the ancient Ethiopians. They're not the ancient Ethiopians. Sudan is ancient Ethiopia, not fucking Ethiopia today that you see. So it was purposely done because the Europeans were controlling Ethiopia at the time, the Italians and the Catholic Church. So they wanted to take that name and juxtapose it to them, and it's not them. Ancient Ethiopia is Kush, Nubia, Sudan. That's Ethiopia, not what you see today as Ethiopia. That's Abyssinia. But anyway, those individuals.
The largest.
Yeah, anyway, oh, go ahead, Spike. What you playing?
No. Just go on. I was just wondering if I know why they said it was changed, but I believe it's not correct. They are saying they know why it was changed, but I'm sure probably it's some propaganda.
Why they change it? I know why they changed it, because you got the Catholic and white people trying to change the history of the original Ethiopic people. Ethiopia descended from, well, I guess you know, the old empire. That could be Ethiopia too as well, because it was no. If you go straight down from Sudan all the way down to Kenya, there was no Kenya. Kenya didn't exist. Kenya was part of the Ethiopian Empire as well. Ancient Kenya, where there was no Kenya, was part of Ethiopia. It descended all the way down into what you call today Kenya, the Ethiopic kingdoms. But I think that's them trying to say. I think that's Abyssinia trying to steal the whole glory of ancient Ethiopia, when that's not ancient Ethiopia. So people get confused, Mike, when you don't know history. When people talk about Ethiopian history, you think that's them. That's not them.
It's a heritage.
That's not them.
It's a heritage and the history that they have.
You're like, okay, exactly. So, and then like, hey, you Ethiopians have done great work. You've done so much great work in history. Yes, we have. We've done great work. And it ain't them. It's not them.
So at the end of the day, all glory will be going
and oldest independent countries in Africa, never to be colonized by another nation. Well, minus 5 years of occupation from Mussolini's Italy. It is also the second most populated country in Africa, and the most populated landlocked country in not just Africa, but the whole world. While this ancient country may now be known as Ethiopia, this wasn't always the case, as historically the country went by a different name. Abyssinia. So where did these two names come from, and why was the name changed from Abyssinia to Ethiopia? Like I said, Ethiopia is an incredibly ancient country.
Because white people got control of the country and wanted to change that history. That's why.
So this isn't as clear to us, like how the country of Burma changed its name to Myanmar. The name Abyssinia too isn't as clear to us. It's thought to come from the Arabic Habasa, coming from the Amharic Habash and the Arabic Habash, which means mixed and a mixture respectively. So why is it thought that Abyssinia was named after a word for mixing? Well, this is because the land of Abyssinia was the home to a mixture of people and races that lived on the land. Nevertheless, this Arabic word of Habasa was Latinized over time to Abyssinia. The name Ethiopia, however, is of Greek origin, coming from the Greek Ethiopia. Ethiopia is thought to come from the Greek etho, meaning I burn, and the Greek ops, meaning face. This etymology references a burnt face, but why exactly? Well, this etymology is of Greek origin. It's not a native Ethiopian name, though Ethiopia's native name in Amharic is now a variation of it. To these Europeans, one of the most striking features of this land would have been the darker skin tone of the people who lived there.
And see, the white people tell the story. That's a lie again, Spike. See, you can't trust these crackers. That's a lie. Abyssinia is older than the Arabic language. Arabic language is not an ancient language. Abyssinia was the name of the country before you got there. He said, oh, this came from the Arabic language. Well, motherfucker, let's say this. Arabic language is not old enough to call it Abyssinia. See, white people come in and create lies, and they know that Africa was conquered, and so all your history and your educational system is a lie. Abyssinia existed before the Arabic language. Arabic language only comes into existence in the 7th century AD. Abyssinia goes back further than the 7th century AD, and it was called Abyssinia. So how the fuck could the Arabs name it Abyssinia if it was no Arab language?
But they are conservative with it too, because for the second bit, I agree with them. When they say Ethiopia is the land of the burnt faces, the burnt faces, these are regards to the people who are the darker.
But that's what the Greeks called the Cushites. They called the Cushites. Cushites didn't call themselves Ethiopians. That is a Greek term because the Cushites, remember the Cushites were the ones ruling the world. They're the ones who started India. They're the ones who started what you call today Iran, Persia, and Iraq. That was the Kushite. They're the ones who started with China. That's why the Kushites and the Chinese words are similar. So you got the Kushite African who was dominant. See, this one you got to understand African history. You were ruling the world. You wasn't like you are today, subjugated. You were the rulers. So they were giving homage to African people, the Kushites, who ruled the world, who were the most fierce warriors. So if you're the most fierce warriors, you're gonna get homage and respect. And so all these ancient tales about Ethiopia,
it's a lie,
right? All these ancient tales about Ethiopia, you know, just like Ghana today. That's not ancient Ghana.
Yeah.
Like that Ghana you see over there in West Africa. That's not Ghana of old times. That's not ancient Ghana. That's not Mansa Musa's Ghana or Mali.
You see, I usually
That's some
say
shit they made up to say, oh.
I usually say this introduction of the white people into our countries is what messed us up. You know, I think we had a good thing going on. We are able to work without having the overseas country, you know, taking control of our businesses, you know, asking, like, because Ethiopia changing its name, I know it has something to do with how it will be unveiled to its government and all that, and like the colonizers wanting to get more from it, you know, and that's not a good thing to talk about, you know.
Well, it's the domination of African people. You know, you come in and you destroy your history. Most Africans don't know African history. Most Africans believe you're different. You believe in different tribes. You believe you're Kenyans. There was no fucking such place as Kenya, Nigeria, South Africa, Angola, Ghana. These are made up European names. No such place. And so when you don't, and then they put these borders in, you don't know one another anymore. You don't know other African people. You think these are different people. You're not. You're the same people. And you used to know that. That's when you dominated the world. You knew you were one people. So that's why you ruled the world. African doesn't know he ruled the world. African believes he's always been poor and wretched. Go ahead, Spikes.
I'm just saying it's probably at some point maybe our memory was lost. You know, even our DNA memory seems like it has been repressed. People cannot really remember that we were one. But nonetheless, I want to share these are a small video about what is.
Pull this up for me, this Spike, before you do the video. Pull up. Don't say damn, I can't even pronounce the name right. Drusilla Dungy book on the what's the name of the book? The Wonderful Ethiopians. The Wonderful shit. What's the name of that damn book? I read it over and over again. I'm on the brain for Drusilla Dungy's book of the Wonderful Ethiopians. She was what she did is she chronicled the greatness of African people when you were ruling the world. Drusilla Dungy's book, The Great Ethiopians, or The Wonderful Ethiopians. What the hell's the name of that damn book? Drusilla Dungy. Say Drusilla Dungy. And the book will come up. The story of the wonderful Ethiopians. What's the name of the damn book? But she chronicalizes African rule in the planet. So when you look at Iran, Iraq, you think those are white Arab countries. They are not. Those are African kingdoms. That was part of Africa. That was Northeast Africa. Drusilla Dunjee, Drusilla Dunjee's book. You say, what is the name? Ask Google. Say, Google, what is the name of Drusilla Dunjee's book? Ask it that.
Okay, let me see if I find it. What's the name?
Drusilla. I didn't know how to spell that name, Drusilla. Drusilla Dunjee's book. Say, Google, what's the name of Drusilla? You see it?
No, Drusilla Dunjee. Let me see if I find it. My pronunciation is incorrect as well. I'm writing it as D-R-U.
What's the name of Drusilla Dunjee's book? Is it called? Let me see. Is it called? Oh, that's good. Drusilla Dunjee. Yeah, Drusilla Dunjee Houston's book. That's the name. Drusilla Dunjee Houston. What's the name of the damn book? She was a historian. What's the name of it? I know she wrote a lot of books. The ancient Kush. Okay, the ancient Kush, Ethiopia. What's it called? Her name is Drusilla. It's going to be spelled spikes. D-R-U-S-I-L-L-A. Dunjee. D-U-N-J-E-E. Houston. H-O-U-S-T-O-N. Drusilla Dunjee Houston. The book it chronicles the ancient Kushite.
I see. It's called The Wonderful Ethiopians of the Ancient Kushite Empire.
Yeah, that's what it's called. It was the wonderful something. So what she does, every African should read this book. Every African should know their real history.
Yeah.
So she's chronicalizing the Africans' rule of the planet. She's chronicalizing when you went out as African people and taught the rest of these no good bastards how to read and write. And this is thousands of years before the Moors fights. Thousands of years before. So this is the first time you go out and civilize these no good bastards. This is the first time Africans go out and civilize the world. They don't civilize you. Go ahead, she wrote it what now? Go ahead, Spike.
I'm saying she wrote it in 1926. That is the actual publication date, as I see on our
1926. Almost 100 years ago. So,
1926. So she
did the crap. Huh?
I'm saying in 1926 the name was still Abyssinia, like we were finding out earlier. Yeah. The name was still Abyssinia, wasn't it?
She's not talking about them. She's talking about the Kushites. That's why she didn't say Abyssinia. That history is not the Abyssinians. She's talking about Sudan, the Kushites, who are not really there, who went further into Africa, who became Kenyans, South Africans, and Ghanans today. Some of those people who were pushed further into Africa when they start losing, when they finally start getting colonized. They went further south and west into Africa. Some stayed in Kenya, some went over the the Congo, some went over to what you call Senegal. You're the same fucking people. They're not different people. You don't know the history of Africa.
And I see there are also some other records. Yeah.
Yeah, so she's over there. So she's over there letting you know when you went out, you start educating the rest of the world because your empires were still intact. The Kushite are the Ethiopians. But you would say Kenyans today and other people. But that's when you control Iran, Iraq, India. That was all African countries. Controlled and ruled by the African. Not by what you see the East Indian, the fucking white Arab. Go ahead, Spike.
I'm just saying the way of operation, the way the people, the way that the white supremacy operates is that we all know they will come up and take up. Eventually, they will be there.
When they got control, when they got control of Kenya, Spike, what they do? They gave you their educational system, which is a lie. You're taught indoctrination. You're not taught history in no fucking Kenya or Nigeria. You're taught lies.
We might
so you don't know what the hell Africa was. Ahead,
we I'm saying we might be confused as to who the original Ethiopian was, but we know who they shall be in the future. In the future, they shall be white people. In the future, we might be confused.
That's what they're doing. That's what they exactly right, Spikes. That's what they doing in Ethiopia now.
In the future, it will be them. We might not know who they are, but
exactly, Spikes. That's what they're doing. That's what I got to see in Ethiopia. That's what they're doing in Ethiopia right now. They're lighting up all the art in Ethiopia so they can say they are the original Ethiopians too. That's what's going on in Ethiopia right now, Spikes. That's exactly what they're doing.
Everyone, there will be everyone. But I also see, let me also touch on these books. I see a couple of other books that are recommended. There is one by Cheikh Anta Diop, which is the African origin of civilization. There is another one known as Ethiopia and the Origin of a Civilization by John G. Jackson. There is another one known as Christianity Before Christ. And there is another one known as The Destruction of a Black Civilization, of course, by Chancellor Williams. And there is another one known as Christopher Columbus and the African Holocaust, which is by Dr. John Henry Clark. And there's another one known as The Stolen Legacy by George G. And I believe these are good books. I will be saving these names so that
let me back someone call who they'll call me, man.
Even able to get the opportunity to get to read them, that would be wonderful. But before we continue, I wanted to go back into the matter of J. Cole and playing for the Rwandese team. Let me share this video as we get to progress right here on the Express Show with the Black Hot Fire Network. This is a video which shares a story about J. Cole and him being taken up by this team in Rwanda. I do believe he's having a good time in Rwanda, but let me share this real quick, and then we shall go back into finalizing, because this is the Black Hot Fire. So let me play this. I believe maybe this is it.
Work with him and another player that's joined us, but he just wants to be a regular guy and enjoy his basketball experience. So that's the plan.
Absolutely. And of course, regarding the preparations of the team, we saw some of the players being dropped out, and of course, some of the players being added in. So except seeing Gibel Nijimbere, one of the Patriots point guards, being dropped out of the team, and of course, other players, speculations that other players are going to be added to the team. Which other news regarding the preparations for the Basketball Africa League that are in Patriots Basketball Club as we speak?
Well, unfortunately, we hated to lose Gilbert. He's a fantastic person, and it was a decision that our management felt was best. Our coaching staff, we obviously as coaches, we have to support management decisions. And so at this point, we've added Prince eBay and another young man named Brandon Costner to the roster. So at this point, our roster is complete as we get ready for practice here in the next couple of days.
Absolutely. And as I just started saying, it's just a few days until the kickstart of the Basketball Africa League. How is the team prepared? How is the spirit right now regarding the players' preparedness of the Basketball Africa League?
Well, until we can get everyone out of quarantine officially, that's when we'll really know the scope of what we truly have. But the group that I've been with for this first couple of weeks since I've been in Kigali, I love their spirit. They're a high energy group. They really want to learn, and they've made great progress just in a couple of weeks. And I'm not saying that's a credit to me. I think it's more of a credit to them and their intention to want to grow as a group. So the next step is just weaving the last couple of players into our full roster as they get out of quarantine and are officially able to participate in all the activities here.
Absolutely. Regarding the teams that, of course, will participate in this Basketball Africa League, as the Patriots Basketball Club is in Group 1 with other strong teams right here on the African continent. What do you anticipate in regards to the results from this Basketball Africa League tournament?
Well, our plan is to try to win it, of course, but
all right.
That's our number one goal. But I'm not a genie or a Houdini, so I wish I could predict the future, but I can't. Right. But I love our opportunity, and obviously it's a very strong pool of teams across the entire 12. not just our group in Group A. So, but what we've been trying to really stress to our team is let's make sure that we control everything that we can control, and make sure that you don't live into the future too much, because all you can control is today. Tomorrow's obviously not promised to any of us.
All right.
And let's just make sure that every workout we have, every team meeting, every activity that we do as a group, that we make sure we just take one step forward. And the better we do that, that gives us the best chance to get what we like to accomplish in the end.
All right. Thank you very much, Coach. And let's end saying that all the best in your preparations of the upcoming Basketball Africa League.
And that is, of course, what is going on in
Can you hear me, Spikes?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you now.
Yeah, that's just some more white bullshit about and unless the Africans own it, it's nonsense. Unless you own it, the league. See, it's a good thing. Okay, it's a good thing to bring basketball into Africa. Yeah, but do you own it? Ownership. Africa has got to start owning its own intellectual property. Ownership. Reason why we're poor around the world, because we lost ownership, and we lost also what? Knowledge of self. Would you say, Spikes? Oh, go ahead.
I was saying it's a good thing. I've seen Rwandese people trying to put some effort. You remember the last time you were there in 2019, there was an investment in the stadium. You were at a place known as the Amahoro Stadium, and they have decided really.
That's where they're going to be at.
Upgrade the level of the stadiums. And I've also seen the same kind of an interest with Dave Chappelle when he said he will be introducing comedy clubs in Africa. Maybe one of these comedy clubs might be in South Africa or Rwanda or even Kenya. We do not know where the comedy clubs might be. So
they're going to put them all over Africa, but the African must own them. Can't be like in Kenya or Nigeria. You got these East Indians own the hotels, the Africans working for them. Africa's got to be owned by Africans, not by other people. And that's been the problem since colonialization. And so when you're taught lies, doesn't know its history. So we know in Kenya, Ghana, wherever you go, you got black people worshiping white people. Is that not true, Spikes? You got people in Kenya that believe there was a white man that was God and died on the stick, correct? You know they believe that, right?
There was a place known as Kitengela when there was a dirty rugged. I'm saying about Kitengela. There was a dirty rugged white man that came and people went dancing around.
I'm saying no. The majority of Kenyan Spikes believe the lie that there was a cracker, a white man, who died on a stick and was God. They believe that.
I'm saying Africa at large. That is the thing in Africa at large, not in Kenya. It's Africa at large.
I know. I'm saying, okay, that's what I'm telling you. Okay, that's where I'm going. Listen, I'm just using Kenya as a frame of reference. We know it's Africa world. We know it's Africa wide, from Ghana to damn fucking Nigeria with that goopy ass shit. Yeah. When you don't know the history, I just taught you right there. But there was no Jesus and you ran the world, because there was no creation called Christianity then. Didn't exist. There was no white man, there's no God, because the white man was living in a cave and dirty and poor, while the African was rich, ruling the world. So back then you couldn't have no African worshiping nobody white. They would have laughed in your face and said, what the hell are you talking about? How the hell I'm going to worship some white man and I'm the one ruling the world? Just like later on with the Moors, Spikes. Can you hear me, Spikes? I might be going to bad area.
No, I can hear you, though you're breaking up.
Okay, all right, I'm breaking up. Let me get past this bad area, because I want you to understand through history, you can free your mind from the false religions of conquest you were given. That's why you never taught your history in these goopy African schools. How about the European came and gave you civilization? Your fucking mind. African gave civilization to everybody else. You hear me now, Spikes? Am I still bad?
No, it's a bit better.
So the African knows his real history That's why when the European left, you got their educational system, which is lies. So you're taught self-hate. You're taught to be inferior to white people. You think white people are better than you, and you believe they are your fucking God, which is a goddamn lie. Emphatically, it's a lie. So when you just go back and read Drusilla Dungy Houston's book, there was no white Jesus. It didn't exist yet. The religion didn't even exist. So white people were poor and wretched even back then. So imagine somebody black who ruled the world worshiping somebody white. Your ancestors would have laughed in your damn face. What the hell are you talking about? You mean this dirty cracker here who can't even read or write? He's my God. This guy here, he's my God. You being today a Kenyan today, you say yes, this white man's your God. The Nubian or the Ethiopian will slap you in your goddamn face. Get out of my face, idiot. So, you know history. Just like we asked about the Moors. Why did white women sleep with the Moors? Because they was a power. You know, nobody talking no white man talking no African Moor crazy. They kill them. They were the power. So Africans fell out of power and then were given fake religions to worship other people. Until we get rid of these religions and know who we are, you'll always be on the bottom. The Africans couldn't even believe they're on the bottom. Remember Mumphrey Danford told you from Ethiopia, there's a book. A black man wrote this book, Spikes. He wrote it that'd be 1,300 years ago. Right? He wrote a book saying the idea that anybody white would ever rule over black people is preposterous. Now look, who's ruling over black people? White people. He wrote that 1,300 years ago. And what the country would be Iraq today, but that was still Africa back then. He wrote, and Mumphrey Danford knew that book. That's a real book, Spikes, written 1,300 years ago. Huh?
I heard it from Bombi also to saying about it.
Yeah, Mumphrey was talking about the book. He knew the book. That book is real. But an African wrote say the idea that white people could ever get out of being at the bottom is crazy. That they're wretched and they're supposed to be ruled by black people. That's in the book. That's in the book. And now look, we're on the bottom and we're worshiping these damn people.
I think that we have still a plague in our minds is the matter of cognitive dissonance, and until we actually elevate ourselves from that particular place, then we shall continue singing the same song till on 80 years to come, when we shall discover that it has all been about falsified and falsified information and manipulation about our history. But nonetheless, we open it up. I just wanted to thank everyone.
You know why they manipulate your history, right? Why are they doing? Because you sit on the richest piece of real estate on the planet. Africa's the richest place on the planet. So I told you, like that guy said when they came in, how can we dominate these Africans? How can we destroy their minds? What can we do? Oh, we'll get them to worship us. We'll give them fake religions. Hey, you got people in Kenya that will kill you over that fake white Jesus.
I was saying that if you happen, there was an image I was sharing sometimes back, and if you happen to put up an image and say Jesus is this and that, then put a black face on it, they will kill you. But anyhow, I want to thank everyone who has been with us on the Express show. I understand that we are suffering now from our
we got to do these book reports. We got to get Spikes to read these books. We got to get the family to read these books. This is what Spikes is talking about, a think tank. So I got to get these books in Kenya so we can start educating black people. This is your history, black people. White people are not going to teach you this. White people are going to teach you that these new Ethiopians that they're making white, because they're mostly white looking now today, are the original Ethiopians that went out and ruled the world. And that is a goddamn lie.
information right now has been made and manipulated so that people cannot even know what is top, what is bottom, what is right, what is left, and all these other things. But nonetheless, I want to appreciate everyone and also thank Remy Wanjah. He wasn't able to join, as he said, his connectivity went down.
Before we leave, Spikes, you want us to call Rwanda and get you a tryout for the basketball team?
No, I think the brother here, George, has been doing sports. Do you do basketball? Have you done basketball?
I used to, man.
You used to do basketball.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah, he can do it. Everybody can do it. Is he good? Is he any good at it? It's different between doing it and being good.
I think he's another Mtambo. I think he's another Mtombo who will not be able to play.
Actually, I'll be following about whatever they call will be doing on that.
That's okay. You can say right. But family, to appreciate. Yeah,
must love family. Know your history. Understand being black is a privilege. Understand your blackness is your greatness. You've been lied to. You are great people. You have always ruled this fucking planet for the majority. So understand that. Don't you know that? You bow your head for no white man, no fucking Arab man, no fucking East Indian. You are the dominant on the planet, and you carry yourself as such.
People should embrace the heritage, and also walk with boldness wherever they might be asked from around the continent.
This is Black on Fire Radio.